Welcome viewers to yet another edition of The Colonel Speaks. As the world gears up to take the coronavirus fight to the next level, the dragon quietly awaits for the right opportunity to arise. The coronavirus pandemic has thrown open a Pandora's box which has more questions than answers. Viewers, if you like this video, then please like, subscribe and share. Josephine Ma, a very senior correspondent on the South China Morning Post, Hong Kong, was the first to report that the first case of coronavirus was on 17th November 2019, which was that of a 55-year-old man in Wuhan. As the timelines go, China did the genome sequencing of the COVID-19 virus and reported its first death due to coronavirus on 11th January 2020. On 23rd Jan, the Chinese locked down Wuhan to stop the spread of the virus. On 30th Jan, WHO declared the disease a public health emergency of international concern. The very next day, Philippines, India, Russia, Spain, Sweden and the United Kingdom documented virus importation through infected travelers. A pandemic is supposed to be declared by WHO when the world's population is likely to be exposed to a new infection with potential to make a proportion of it sick. However, after a delay of almost 40 days, on 11th March, WHO announced the COVID-19 as a global pandemic. This delay, which probably cost us many thousands of valuable lives, is not understood, but it definitely assisted a local virus to become truly global. Ironically, on 13th March, Bruce Aylward, team lead WHO, China Joint Mission, stated that he doesn't expect travel bans to help in beating coronavirus, which is kind of contrary to the announcement of WHO made earlier in declaring it a global pandemic, and which purportedly added on to a series of misleads that the WHO was guilty of. Reportedly, by 17th March, China claimed that it had somewhat controlled the spread of coronavirus. Despite the crucial delay of about 65 days from the detection of the first case on 17th November 2019 till Wuhan was locked down, China had almost 81,000 positive cases and 3,250 deaths till 17th March 2020, which was 4 months from the first detection, wherein, if statistics are compared, US and many other countries have actually hit the roof for the same duration with no indication of stopping in the near future. This leads us to ask many questions which we would come to subsequently. But to have a better understanding of the Chinese conspiracy, let's know more about Wuhan. Wuhan is considered the political, commercial, economic, financial, educational and cultural center of central China. It is a major transportation hub with dozens of railways, roads and expressways passing through the city and connecting to other major cities. A point to note is that because of its key role in domestic transportation, Wuhan is sometimes referred to as the Chicago of China. Wuhan has a very evolved road transportation system. Some major roads that run through Wuhan are China National Highway 107, 2,698 kilometers long and connects Beijing to Hong Kong. China National Highway 316, 2,900 kilometers long and connects Fujian to Gansu. China National Highway 318, 5,476 kilometers long and connects Shanghai to Zhangmu. G42 Expressway, 1,960 kilometers long, connects Shanghai to Chengdu, and G0422 Expressway, 1,095 kilometers long, connects Wuhan to Shenzhen. Wuhan has an extensive railways network. It is one of the 4 key railway hubs of China. It is served by 3 railway stations and is a critical junction for all railroads passing through central China. In essence, it connects the length and breadth of China. Tianhe Airport in Wuhan is the 14th busiest airport in China. It has flights to 75 domestic destinations and connects central China with 53 countries. Approximately 12 million domestic passengers commute annually, which averages out to 1 million passengers every month. Wuhan also boasts of a maritime transport system on the Yangtze River, which caters for both passengers and cargo loads. In essence, Wuhan would have sent hundreds of thousands of infected people all across China on all modes of transportation in those 65 days before it was locked down. Despite such busy transportation system and capabilities, Only about 5% of the total coronavirus cases in China were reported from outside Wuhan, and that too when there was a 65-day gap between the reporting of patient zero as per Josephine Ma and lockdown of Wuhan. Even if we take the Chinese officially declared date of first COVID-19 case to be 31st of December, then also it was 24 days till lockdown. And with the R0 figure or the reproductive rate of COVID-19 at 2 to 2.5, the cases outside Wuhan would have to be much more than just 5% of the total infected. While miraculously the domestic passengers escaped despite such an advanced and busy transportation system, for international passengers, Wuhan was just the ideal gateway for COVID-19 to get dispersed. Before we go on to more sinister probabilities, let's have a quick look as to how other provinces in China have been faring till now. These statistics give out the current cases and the cumulative total of all the Chinese provinces. You would notice all the provinces except Hubei have very minuscule number of cases. Truly amazing, isn't it? Let's see some more interesting stats. This graph shows the coronavirus cases in Hubei province, which is shown in yellow. The cases in China outside Hubei are shown in red, and the climbing curve in purple shows the cases outside China. Now compare the red and yellow curves with the purple one. How did the Chinese manage to flatten the curve? And that too without any hydroxychloroquine or any other medicines whose effects were not known till then. What did China do to prevent it from spreading outside Wuhan before it was locked down? Why didn't it spread outside Wuhan the way it spread in other countries? The probable answer to this question is, though based on circumstantial evidences, is quite believable. Sadia Afzal is a senior anchor person with Pakistani TV channel 92 News. She had tweeted on 22nd April 20 that China has developed COVID-19 vaccine and Pakistan is going to receive it very soon, making Pakistan one of the first countries in the world to launch the vaccine, which also has been confirmed by Major General Amir Ikram, Director General of National Institute for Health, Pakistan. Point to note here is that China had accepted that it did genome sequencing on 7th of January 2020 and has also made the vaccine so fast, including all the phases of trials, that it is ready for human use is amazingly unbelievable. A very prominent news channel stated that China was to conduct the COVID-19 trials on Pakistani patients. Assuming this to be true, then the mystery deepens even further. Chinese COVID-19 cases were very limited outside Wuhan despite the delayed lockdown. While the world struggled, China largely recovered, started investing big time in the plummeting stock markets world over. China also did some muscle flexing in the South China Sea, and as per US reports, also conducted a zero-yield nuclear device. All this reeks of dirtiest shade of opportunism backed with some real sinister planning. The world catches up with Chinese plan and starts making threatening noises. And bingo! China puts its hand in the pocket and out comes the vaccine. But how does it declare it to the world without raising hackles? China needed a trusted confidant who would not tell the world. No problems here also? Who could be a better candidate than China's all-weather friend and often a partner in crime, Pakistan? But surely, Pakistan is not so naive. No country would lend itself to human trials of a vaccine just like that. But Pakistan did agree. But why? Because China assures Pakistan that the vaccine is safe and ready for human use. The trials are only a sham to fool the world. And of course, China has a large stake in Pakistan in the form of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, whose construction work is mainly being done by Chinese companies, and locals otherwise won't let them to come in till they themselves are not vaccinated. Based on the discussion so far and other open source reports available, which indicate the virus as a laboratory version of the original one, the following can be conjectured. The virus was created in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Whether as a bioweapon or not, that is a matter of investigation by the world. The vaccine was also created around the same time the virus was created. The virus was leaked somehow. It was coincidental that Wuhan seafood market was co-located, so it was easy to shift the blame. While the Chinese were trying to control the spread without causing alarm, out comes Dr. Li Wenliang, who screamed about the human-to-human transmissions. He was threatened and arrested and he later died of coronavirus. While Wuhan became the battleground, Chinese found a way to carry out a mass vaccination of the people living outside Wuhan, especially places important politically, financially, and commercially like Beijing and Shanghai. That's why the low infection rates in other provinces outside Hubei. Since they created the virus, they would know its potential to cause damage. Chinese saw an opportunity in exploiting the situation, colluded with WHO and delayed the declaration of pandemic, thus letting the spread go wider and deeper. While the world grappled, the stock markets tumbled. The Chinese went about buying stocks around the world and carried out combat exercises in South China Sea and exploded a zero-L nuclear device. They also offered help to other countries facing the crisis by selling them fake masks and faulty medical equipment. Now that they feel threatened by the world, they stand to lose their dominant status. So therefore, now they come out with a vaccine. Viewers, the conjecture is based on an analysis on the available data and the circumstantial evidences available on the open source, which indicate that the Chinese haven't been entirely honest about the intent or their capabilities. With this, I come to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe the channel. Jai Hind.